It's 2 a.m., and your thumb is still moving. You don't even remember picking up the phone. The screen glows against your face in the dark, and your eyes are dry, and somewhere underneath the exhaustion, a small voice is asking why you're still doing this. But you don't stop. You've told yourself you would. You've set the limits, deleted the apps, made the promises at the start of the day. And still, almost every night, you end up here, scrolling through disasters, wars you can't end, crises you can't fix, strangers fighting about things that will never touch your life. None of it makes you feel good. So why can't you put it down? The answer isn't laziness. It isn't weakness. The answer is 300,000 years old, and it lives in the oldest part of your brain. Picture one of your ancestors, not in a museum, not in a textbook, but as a real person standing at the edge of a forest at dusk. The light is fading. The wind shifts. Somewhere in the trees, a branch cracks. For that person, in that moment, attention was not optional. It was the difference between living through the night and not. Your ancestors lived in a world that was trying to kill them. Predators in the dark, rival groups over the hill, storms, snakes, spoiled food, a wound that could turn fatal in a week. The human who noticed the danger survived. The human who shrugged and looked away did not. And survivors pass on their wiring. So generation after generation, the brains that won were the brains that paid attention to threats. This is where something called the negativity bias comes from. Your brain treats bad information as more urgent and more important than good information. It is not balanced, and it was never meant to be. A piece of good news is pleasant, but ignoring it costs you nothing. A piece of bad news could be the rustle in the grass that ends you. So your mind learned to lean toward the bad, to scan for it, to hold on to it longer. Missing a threat was fatal. Missing a compliment was not. Think about how that plays out even now. You can get 10 kind messages and 1 criticism, and which one keeps you awake? You walk away from a good day replaying the one thing that went wrong. That isn't a flaw in your character. That is a survival system doing exactly what it was built to do, in a body that hasn't been updated in tens of thousands of years. So here is the uncomfortable truth. Your brain isn't broken when you doom scroll, it's working perfectly. It's just working for a world that no longer exists. Because here's what made the old system survivable. In the world your ancestors lived in, threats were local. The danger was the bush in front of you, the river you had to cross, the strangers approaching your camp. You could see it. You could respond to it. You could fight it, flee it, or solve it. And then, crucially, it was over. The predator left, the storm passed, the sun came up. Your brain got a signal that said the danger is gone, you are safe now, you can rest. That signal mattered more than you realize. In the world your ancestors lived in, the whole threat system was designed around a beginning and an end. Alarm, action, resolution, scan, react, relax. Your nervous system needed that closing moment, the all clear to power down and recover. Stress was supposed to be a spike, not a state. Now look at what you hold in your hand. Your phone is a threat feed with no end. It does not show you the one danger in your one valley. It shows you every danger on the entire planet, all at once, refreshing forever. An earthquake on one continent, a war on another, a collapse, a scandal, a warning, a tragedy. Each one real, each one arriving faster than you can process the last. The same instinct that evolved to scan a single clearing for a single predator is now being asked to scan the whole world. And the whole world never runs out of bad news. So the all clear never comes. There is no moment where the feed says the danger has passed, you can rest now. There is always one more story, one more crisis, one more thing your ancient brain insists you need to know in order to stay safe. The scan never ends because the threats never end. You are stuck in the alarm with no resolution, the spike that never comes down. Do you see the trap forming? Your ancestors scanned to survive, and the scanning saved them. You scroll for the same reason, driven by the same instinct, but the scrolling saves nothing. It just keeps you locked in place, eyes wide, heart slightly too fast, hunting for an ending that the design of the feed guarantees you will never reach. And it gets quieter and more clever than that. Every time you see a new piece of bad news, some part of you feels like you've done something useful, like you've stayed informed, like knowing about the danger is a form of protecting yourself from it. That feeling is the hook. Your brain whispers that awareness equals safety because for most of human history, it did. If you knew where the lions were, you could avoid them. Knowing kept you alive. But the dangers on your screen are not lions you can avoid. You cannot do anything about most of what you're reading. You can't stop the war. You can't prevent the disaster on the other side of the world. The knowing doesn't protect you, it just floods your body with the chemistry of a threat you have no power to act on. Alarm with no action, fear with nowhere to go. So the stress has no exit and it pools and it sits and it follows you into the next scroll and the one after that. This is the part that makes doomscrolling feel so strange from the inside. You feel worse with every minute, more anxious, more hollowed out, more tired. And yet the instinct says, keep watching. You try to set the phone down and something pulls it back. Not a craving exactly, more like a low unease, a sense that stopping would mean letting your guard down, as if the danger might find you the moment you look away. That's the ancient scanner, still running, still convinced that vigilance is what keeps you alive. Have you ever noticed it's worse at night? There's a reason for that too. In the dark, your ancestors were at their most vulnerable. Reduced vision, predators on the move, the safety of the group harder to hold on to. The brain learned to treat darkness as a time for heightened watchfulness, not rest. So when you lie in bed at midnight with the lights off and the screen on, you are dropping the most threat-sensitive version of your brain into an infinite stream of threats. Of course, the problems look bigger at 2 a.m. Your mind is doing exactly what it was built to do in the dark. It's staying on watch. So what do you do with all of this? You can't delete the instinct. It's older than language, older than fire, woven into the deepest layers of who you are. Fighting it head-on, white-knuckling your willpower against 300,000 years of evolution, is a fight you will usually lose. The scanner doesn't respond to shame. It responds to safety, which means the answer isn't to force yourself to care less. It's to give your brain the thing the feed refuses to give it. The all clear, the ending, the signal that the scan is complete, and you are safe now. Start by putting edges back on a thing that was designed to have none. The savannah had natural boundaries, the night ended, the threat passed, the moment closed. Your feed has erased all of them, so you have to rebuild them by hand. Decide before you open the app how long you'll look and what you're looking for. A finite window, a specific question, and when it's done, you say it plainly to yourself, out loud if you have to. The scan is over. There's nothing here I need to act on tonight. That sentence sounds small. To the old part of your brain, it's the sun coming up. Then protect the edges of your day because those are the moments the scanner hunts hardest. The first 30 minutes after you wake and the last 30 before you sleep. Don't hand those minutes to the feed. Waking up straight into a stream of global disasters tells your nervous system that the world is on fire before your feet even hit the floor. And scrolling yourself to sleep drops you into the dark, vulnerable, watchful, exactly when you need the all clear most. Guard those edges and you starve the instinct of its 2 favorite feeding times. And when the pull comes anyway, when you feel that low unease tugging your hand back toward the phone, try naming it instead of obeying it. That's just my threat scanner. That's a 300,000-year-old reflex looking for a lion that isn't there. You'd be surprised how much power a thing loses the moment you can see it for what it is. You stop being a person who can't stop scrolling and become a person watching an old instinct misfire. And from that small distance, you can finally choose. Because that's the real shift. The goal was never to hate yourself for the scrolling, or to win some war against your own mind. Your brain isn't your enemy here. It's a deeply loyal, slightly outdated bodyguard, still scanning the horizon for dangers that stopped being dangerous a very long time ago. It's trying to protect you. It just doesn't have the map for this world yet. So you give it one. You set the boundaries it can't set for itself. You hand it the ending the feed will never provide. You teach the ancient part of you gently and over that it's allowed to stand down. The lions aren't in the grass anymore. They're pixels on a screen, and they cannot touch you, and you are allowed to look away. So the next time it's 2 a.m. and your thumb is still moving, you'll understand exactly what's happening. It isn't weakness and it isn't a flaw. It's the oldest part of you, still standing guard through the night, waiting for someone to finally tell it the danger has passed. And now, at last, that someone can be you.